All right, today Josh and I are going to be talking about death. So, talking about death and dying is considered a social taboo today. Why do you think that is? Is this a good thing or a bad thing, and why?
I would say it's a social taboo just because no one likes to think about when they're going to die. Everyone likes to be positive, and death is probably the most negative thing that can happen to somebody. So, I would consider it a bad thing because eventually we all got to die, and if you just keep avoiding talking about it, then you're just probably going to get more anxious thinking about it.
Yeah, it
So,
doesn't help the situation at all if you
yeah,
just avoid it altogether.
yeah,
But yeah, definitely a taboo topic that people don't like talking about.
yeah.
All right. What are your personal beliefs or attitudes about death and dying? What do you think happens after death? Do you believe in an afterlife, reincarnation, or something else entirely?
So, I mean, personal beliefs about death. I know it's gonna happen. I don't know how it's gonna happen, but eventually I'm gonna die. I've thought about it before. I don't. It is like kind of weird to think about yourself dying, and I don't know. I would say I'm a little like afraid to die because obviously you don't know what's gonna happen. Um, but I think I'm coming to the point where I'm okay if it happens. I kind of know what's gonna happen to me, but just how it's gonna happen is something you always think about. But I do believe in a heaven and a hell. I believe there is an afterlife, and I believe you either go to heaven or you go to hell for eternity.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely think there's some form of an afterlife. I don't have much thought in it beyond that. Uh, my personal beliefs about death and dying, though, I mean, I'm not scared of it. Like, it happens, it happens. Everybody dies. So I just not trying to worry about it and make life worse for myself. Uh, do you think your beliefs have been shaped by your cultural, religious, or philosophical background? If so, who or what has had the most influence on your ideas?
I would say definitely religious, and probably just the churches I've gone to where I grew up have the most influence on them. Uh, but yeah, I've gotten my beliefs about death and the afterlife through religion and church.
Uh, Me, on the other hand, death, not really a topic that gets brought up in my household or throughout my life. And I come from a non religious family, so yeah, I'd say this class has had more of an influence in my beliefs about death and dying than anything else. What are your emotion? What emotions come to mind when you think about death and dying? How do you cope with these emotions, and do you think it's important to address them openly?
Right off the bat, when you think about emotions about death, it's just probably sad, maybe depressed, maybe grief, just anything that causes you to uh, kind of self reflect, maybe in like a sad or confused sort of way. Usually, I haven't had a lot of experience with death in my life. Other than my grandma dying, I haven't really had a lot of family members or loved ones really die. So, but what I did with her was I usually just kind of spend a couple hours really just remembering the good things that I did with her, and then after that, it was kind of accepting the fact that life's gonna be different, but I have to move on. It's just a part of living.
Yeah, same for me. All the death that's sort of gone on in my family, I was really young for, so I didn't really understand what was going on entirely. So it didn't really have as big of an impact on me as it would today. But I do remember like my family members being really sad for like a good few days or however long, depending on who it was after the family member passed. What do you think is most important for people who are dying? How can we best support their families and caregivers?
I would just say the most important thing is just to be with them, because obviously, unless by some miracle you only die once. So I mean, it's obviously gonna be scary for those who are like really close to death, knowing they're gonna die. But I believe you're just there with them. I think they'll find comfort in knowing that someone was there to watch them drift off. For families, I just think it's being open and just kind of doing things for them, like maybe going out and buying their groceries or something, or maybe just going over their house and talking with them, or just maybe sending them a text or something, just saying that you're sorry what happened and that you're just there for them if they need anything.
Yeah, I definitely think offering like thoughts and any kind of support that you can to their families is really important. And for the people who are dying themselves, like if you can give them sort of a few more days of normalcy, like they're not dying, that'd be really important if you can. Today, in many states and countries, they're debating the ethics of things like physician assisted suicide and dying with dignity laws. What are your views of a person who chooses to die by their own hands if they are already suffering from a terminal diagnosis?
I'm okay with it because it's their life, and they're the one going through the pain of living with something that will eventually kill them. And if they've gotten to a point where they can't endure the pain, and they can't do the things they normally do, I think it's okay if they want to have physician assisted suicide or anything like that, just because of how hard it would be to live with the pain and knowing you're going to die but not knowing exactly when you're going to die.
Yeah, I agree. If it's a terminal diagnosis, I don't see any reason why the person shouldn't have at least the choice to end things early if they know that they're just going to be suffering the rest of their days. So many people debate the way a person is laid to rest. Some want burial, others want cremation, while others want more nuanced things like green burials, etc. What do you want at your death, and what factors are you considering in making this decision?
I would just say I'm on a pretty normal sort of funeral death process. I mean, have the wake, whatever, like dress me up nicely, put me in a little casket, and then go to the funeral, lay me in the ground. I mean, I see why people want to do other things, and like that's okay. It's your body, however you want to be buried. That's kind of the last thing you're gonna do in this life, is kind of decide what happens to you once you pass on. So, but yeah, I'm pretty open just to the normal or the cultural norms of getting buried.
Yeah, same here. I kind of would rather go either just a traditional funeral or maybe even like get cremated. If I was gonna go wild though, buried at sea, I mean, why not, And lastly, reflecting on your own mortality, what are some things you hope to accomplish or experience before the end of your life? How does thinking about death influence the way you live your life on a day-to-day basis?
I guess the main thing is just maybe starting a family of my own, and just kind of getting married, settling down. I guess it'd be cool if bowling got some money in it, so I could maybe win some majors and get on TV. That'd be pretty cool. But I mean, thinking about like death doesn't really change my life on a day-to-day basis. Like I know it's gonna happen. I don't know when it's gonna happen, so I just live life like it could happen tomorrow. So, yeah, it doesn't really change how I live my life on a day-to-day. So yeah.
Yeah, same here. Sort of want to start a family. Not sure when, how big, whatever. The bowling thing would be cool if that could go well. But then as far as how death influences my day-to-day living, honestly, it doesn't. Like, I don't live my life in fear of when I'm going to die or how I'm going to die. I just sort of go about my day-to-day normally. All right. Thank you for talking with me about death today. Till next time.
Till next time.